Hi, Kevin Wright here, and back with another property finance video. And this week we're talking about property finance mentorship. Is it necessary? Is it needed? Or can you just do it all yourself? So, interested? Stick around. So, property finance mentorship, do you need it? Well, there's an argument both ways, isn't there? There's an argument to say, hey, there's loads of free stuff on the internet. Well, that's exactly what you're consuming right now, some free content. So there's lots of it out there. And if you go on Amazon, you'll find there's plenty of property books you can read. Now, they're not exactly free, but they're certainly low cost. I don't know, what, 10, 20 pounds? And that's not going to break the bank, is it? So you've got a bundle of free and low cost information to get you started. Is it enough? That could be, depending on what point you're starting from. So, have you run a business? Have you got a trade? Have you got skills or experience that is transferable from whatever you've learned or done before, and you can redeploy those in property? If you have, you're probably going to get further. Will it take you to where you want to be? Well, in part, that's a question of where do you want to be? An element here is also the scale of your ambition. Are you happy and done with 3 or 4 properties, or does it need to be 30 or 40 or 300 or 400? And whichever way you want to make money from property, whether that's renting it out or just turning it around and flipping it, can you accumulate all that knowledge at next to no cost? And here's another point. Can you do it in a time frame that makes sense? Because going looking for stuff when you're not quite sure what you're looking for can eat up a lot of time. And how much free time have you got? If you're not full-time in property, there's some other way that you earn a living. And property's got to fit in with the 24-hour clock, hasn't it? There's a certain number of hours that you need to sleep. There's a certain number of hours that you need to work to put food on the table. And what's left is usually your relaxation time. Now, you can't do property when you're asleep unless you've got some automation going on that can do stuff while you sleep. So pretty much it's got to be in your waking hours, and your employer's not going to be too pleased if you're doing it when you're meant to be working. So that just leaves your relaxation time. Now, some of that time you still have to relax. So then your time on property is squeezed. And if that squeezed time is spent on you searching out stuff that you need to find out, but you're not quite sure where it is, it can be quite a time-consuming process. So maybe you're in need of a shortcut, and some sort of training or some sort of mentoring could be that shortcut. Now, there's a saying, you pay for your education or you pay for your mistakes. Either way, there's a cost to pay. Now, whether you decide to invest in some training or mentoring or just do it from the free content that you can manage to assimilate, there's a risk either way. The risk by doing it the low-cost way means that you potentially make more mistakes, because in one sense the low cost way is two-dimensional. You can read and you can watch, but there's no tuition, there's no interaction. Your degree of success in part is determined by the degree that you can understand and then implement. You might do very well at that, and if you do, fantastic. But your implementation may be a bit off center, and if it is, that could lead you to making mistakes, and making mistakes usually costs you money to put right. So the risk with going the low cost way is your implementation actually costs you more money than the assimilation of the knowledge you've got in a low cost way. Hey, have you subscribed yet? If not, click the button there. Oh, and that dingy belly thing there so you don't miss a new video every time I release one. Thank you. And follow me on Instagram too. There's the button down there. Thank you. Now, getting some sort of mentoring or training is going to be a higher cost option, but there's risks there too. And the risk is you get the wrong training or the wrong mentor. So you shell out more money, but you don't get what you expected to do in the first place. Now, that could just be that you picked the wrong content and you didn't learn what you thought you was going to learn, or it could be that the trainer or mentor fell in the over-promise and under-deliver trap. So if you're going to go down the higher cost route, then due diligence is key. What sort of track record has the mentor got? How long have they been doing what they've been doing? Who do you know that's had some of their mentoring or training, and were they happy with it? Do some online research. It's amazing what information you can find when you Google. Now, it's a bit like a Trustpilot report for a hotel, isn't it? You're going to get people that give it 5 stars. What a brilliant hotel, had the best holiday of my life. Equally, you're going to get people to give it a 1 star, saying the hotel was rubbish, worst week of my life. So I think it's about looking at this on balance. On balance, are most people happy or unhappy with the mentoring that they've received? Now, if you've seen any of my stuff over a period of time, and hey, you might be brand new to me, this might be the first video you've ever watched of mine, but if it's not, you'd have got some idea that I do training and I do mentoring. So maybe I'm going to be biased in favor of training and mentoring, but I don't think I am. And here's why. But I'd be the first to say that training or mentoring is not for everyone. And I referenced that at the beginning of this video by saying, what is it you want to achieve? And the more modest your ambitions of what you want to achieve, the more likely you can achieve that by going down the free or low cost route. Now, it's a fact that people would take no action for fear of taking the wrong action. In most things actually, but certainly in how they learn what they need to learn to be successful in property. Now, you're going to probably jump one of two ways, and I don't know which way is right for you, but whichever feels right, that's the one to go with. So if you feel you want to learn as much as you can in a no or low cost way, do it. And if you feel you've learned enough to take action, buy a property. Implement whatever it is you're trying to do and see how you get on. If it doesn't work out as well as maybe you wanted it to, and you've made some mistakes and it's cost you some money, well, it probably isn't going to take you out the game altogether. You might have to go and lick some wounds for a while. Now, there's another true saying. When you lose, don't lose the lesson. So if you try something, it doesn't work out as you expect, and hey, that doesn't mean it's a failure. You could say it's just an unplanned outcome. Now, this wasn't the way you expected it to turn out. What can you take from something that didn't work out as well as you would have liked it to, so that the next time you do it, you don't make the same mistake? Now, conversely, if you've got bigger ambitions or you're in a hurry to get wherever it is you want to get to, then investment in the right training or mentoring could actually propel you along your journey. And if you can stand on the shoulders of others that have gone before you and learn from their mistakes so you don't make your own, then training or mentoring could actually work pretty well for you. So this is something that there's not a right or a wrong answer to. You could never do training or mentoring and it'd be brilliant for you. You could equally do training or mentoring and it could be the thing that really pushes you forward. So grab as much as you can that's free or low cost. See how far you get with that, but always be thinking, is this way slowing you down too much, taking too long to get you where you want to get? Now, I think that's a fair evaluation of both sides of this particular coin. And if you feel that training or mentoring is the way you want to go, check out my websites that are on this page and you'll see links to the range of events and courses that I run throughout the year. Now, I'll be back next week with another property finance video. And if you're subscribed and you've clicked that dingy belly thing, you're not going to miss it. Catch you next week. If you enjoyed watching this video, did you know every Monday morning at 8:30, I do a live Facebook Q&A. So if you want to start the week with checking out some answers to your property finance questions, click the link here.